Everyone, gather round. It's time to go and see the show, and I'm going to talk about a toy, don't you know? This time, we're going to talk about this right here, the entry-level Rx782 Gundam. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use this more as a way to practice some painting techniques before I jump on to some more advanced kits. So I'm going to turn this, and I just looked up some different paint designs, and I'm actually going to turn it into what we say is the prototype Rx781. I really like the black and white design and the extra red. It's kind of my deal. So we'll open it up, get it out of the box right now. It only has 2 baggies, no stickers, no nothing, and very simple instructions. All just snaps right together. Pull this one out, those 2, and then yeah, what I actually did was I went and I used my teeth because I'm a giant man-child, and yeah, and I'm going to try to pretend that I didn't just do that. Oh yeah, totally sold it perfectly fine, like you didn't just do that, and you still have trouble because they really do not want you into here in any way, because I still can't even do it. I finally did it. Good job. I was legitimately mad. And yeah, you actually don't even need any nippers. You can push them straight out. It's not even hard. Just with a little bit of pressure, you can just pop them right out. Yeah, I just went ahead and did that. And what I'm doing is I'm separating them out to the eventual colors that I'm going to paint them. So some of them we're going to stay white, other ones gonna get painted red and black and other colors, and that's what I was doing there, just popping them all straight into the containers where they're gonna go, and that's them all separated out. And I went ahead and put some of these together because the calves are a black color but the rest of the shin is white. I'm gonna mask off the shin so that it stays white, and then the top part I'm gonna cut off a little bit. That way when I paint that, those will turn black. It's just some cheap masking tape that is easy enough to pull off without having that residue. And I just push it into the groove, and then you can just cut it the rest of it with an X-Acto knife. Clip it on somewhere, and we're good to go. And I went ahead and clipped up everything else that's going to be turning black. Once I get them all sticked up, I just marked on there that I know it's going to be black. Wrapped them up because I wasn't going to be able to get to them tonight. So have a real bitch of a time figuring out where I can clip that one. Mark that one with red. And I went ahead and put this gun together for no reason in particular. And then I started spray painting them black. And this is where I learned lesson number 1. Don't cheap out on your spray paint, because it took me approximately 6,000 coats of black before I could actually get anything to be black and not some weird dingy gray. But I got all of these colored. The red one actually went on pretty easily. And then this is where
You're a f***ing moron!
Yeah, I didn't mask very well, but yeah, we'll soldier on, because I had this nice red hobby paint. I spent a little bit extra on this because, you know, it's in the aisle with all the model kits, so it's a nice dark red. I thought this would be a perfect accent, all that black. You know, go a little ham, counterbalance that cheap stuff with this stuff, and
Our stomach's a bag of idiot, Morty. You're a brickhead. The dumbest thing I've ever laid eyes on. You're an idiot, dumb Morty. What an idiot! What a dumb.
yeah, nothing about the paint job came out quite the way I wanted to. So I was scraping up what kind of bled through because I had to do so many extra layers, and the parts that I overshot, I just used a marker because fuck it. Then I just used a white Gundam marker to fill in these gaps here. Grabbed a fine point hobby brush, smooth it out the rest of the way to fill in the rest of the gaps. Then started putting everything else together. Ran into a bit of an issue here because, yeah, I had to use 6,000 coats of black, so it didn't want to come together. Did some panel lining on the back here, used a Gundam marker to shine up the thrusters. Got the backpack on nice and secure. The shield came out fucking great. I actually really liked how that shield came out. And then I just used a silver Sharpie to do some accents along with the gunmetal Gundam marker all over, and then wiped off the rest, and that came out really good for this gun. The head was really awesome because usually you have to use a sticker to try to highlight the eyes, but this time it's just its own piece that just kind of sandwiches on there. Mask pops on, panel line that. The whole helmet is just one piece as opposed to getting sandwiched like it usually does. The V-fin and front bill are on there, and so is the gem. No stickers. I did nip off and sand down the safety nubs on the V-fin, which is to give it that extra little bit. Put the arms together. And if you want to, you can grab a stand and have him assume the position, and and that's what you should have, and this is what we came out with. Not too terrible. Somehow it has the worst paint job ever, and I still really like it. It has good posability for a $5 kit. It holds together really well. That might just be the 6,000 layers of paint, but who knows? But he's got all the accessories you could want, all the posability you need, and honestly, I just love it. He just looks great. He looks cool. Maybe it's just because I had to work so hard on making it look good, but I think all the paint apps come together to make something look really nice. But then that's when I thought, well, let's compare it to your standard high-grade Rx782 and just see the differences, how much better I think it looks without using the stickers. All I really did was panel line the original. Nothing too special because I wanted to make that look as toyetic as possible. I don't know why that bill was so big until I started editing and realized I never pushed in his fucking bill. So he just looks like he's wearing a big hat, like a big baseball cap. Anyway, so I was like, can they wield each other's weapons? So this is the gun of the high grade, so I'm gonna keep showing it off for another 5 minutes. The entry grade's hands can't wield it, but the high grade's hands can actually fit inside of the same ball socket, and it doesn't go anywhere. It's nice and secure, so that's cool. I also wanted to try out, how does the bazooka work? Well, it's gonna work the same way since we use the same hand, but how does it look with it? Pop it in there. Yes, you did pop. Yep, it's in there. And yeah, I love it. I love how that looks. This thing just looks like it's a demolition expert, all Black Ops or whatever. The bazooka just looks great with it. Do some aerial flying, bajoom poses, looking up, maybe doing some anti-air stuff. Another really good thing about this is the way that the joint is on here. It is solid. I don't know how else to describe it, but I'm pulling on this, and the fact that the joint comes out into the arm makes it hold onto it really well, along with the shoulder pad also holding onto there. It's just like a really secure hold onto it compared to the entry grade, which I barely push on and the whole thing comes out. Like, this is no effort at all. The knees are like hollow and weird. They have like all these open bits that just seem so like toy, but like these have like these covered kneecaps that like sandwich everything together really well. Same thing with the elbows. They hold it together and look a lot better than these kind of, that elbow fell off again, but yeah, just these open holes, and it's just so, yeah, I don't know why. But then I was like, let me find the box. Also, this is how I store some of my stuff. You can take this idea, but I have all these sandwich baggies, and I tear off the front label of the box, and that's how I know where all the extra stuff that I don't display it with. So here's all the extra stuff for the high grade. So I took off these and popped them in their hand. I wanted to know if these actually worked as beam sabers or if they were, just for show. So we get those in hand. Pull out the two ones for display purposes, and yeah, they absolutely work. They're a little bent from being in storage, but yeah, this thing can pull it off. It's disappointing that it doesn't come with some of these things because they really rock it. So then I thought, well, which one do I prefer? Of the two, recommend the high grade, which comes with a few more bips and bops, but it's $10 more? Or do we prefer the entry grade, which is only $5, but maybe doesn't have as many bells and whistles? In the end, I just think the entry grade just has it, especially for doing your modeling, doing your painting, everything else. I really recommend this thing. I love it. But that's the Rx782 entry grade, and that's how I painted it. I guess I'll just see you next time.